All right, so let's continue writing our CSS. So if I look at my project now, it's looking messy. So let's clean this up with CSS so it looks more visual appealing. So I'm going to start from the logo, and so we have the logo inside the header and inside this container. So I'm just going to take this selector here, paste, and I want the image, and I'm going to set the width to 50 pixel. So if I go back, you see it's more smaller. Then I want to target the nav links. So I'm going to say nav, and I want the anchor tags inside, and I want the color to be, let's say, var, and we're going to do text dark, so more better. Now let's move over to this section. The first thing I'm going to do is to go to my HTML and put my image. So I changed this when I was optimizing my image to dp.jpg. So let's use this. So you see we have the image and it's taking more than what I want it to take. It's too wide, so let's restrict the width. To do that, I'm going to set a general styling for all images. I want them to take 100% of their container, so it does not grow more than the width of the container. Yes, this is great. And then I'm going to adjust my grid layout. I found out that I made some mistake. So I want this to be one FRO, then I want this to take two fractions because I want this text to be actually wider. And this is not supposed to be grid template columns again. So we're supposed to have one columns and rows. So this should be row, grid template rows. So this is how it's looking now. Now I want this about image, the image to be taking 100% of the height. So I'm going to say image and set the height to 100%. Now if I do that, the image is going to stretch and I don't want it to stretch. So I'm going to say object fit and set it to cover. So it's going to fit into the, yeah, right. I like it like this. So this is looking very cool. Yeah. So let's move on. And then so the next thing we need to do is to work on this layout here. So let me look at my structure. So skill container, and then we have deep skills, and all right, so let's do that. So if I look at the skill section, actually I want dot skills section and then dot skills. So skills is where we have the individual skill, and the first thing I want to do is to say display flex. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going to say I want the I'm going to say justify content. Let's not use justify content. So I'm actually following my wireframe, and justify content is not going to work for this. So I'm going to say gap. So let's just add a gap of 1 rem. So I want to target the UL to skill. It has to be dot skill. I'm just trying to be more specific with my selector. That's why I have to say dot skill, going to the skills container, then going to the skill. So if I look at it, we have the skill, and I want the UL. So UL, and I want the lift style to be none. So the lift style is now none. Uh, then I'm going to, I also need to add width to this skill container. So let's go back. So I'm going to take here just above and say I want all skill container to flex. I want it to take equal width. So let's say flex one, yeah. So it's taking up equal width now. And for the UL, I actually want flex this display flex to display flex, and I'm going to say gap. Let's add gap of 1 rem, and now I'm going to say flex wrap. So I want it to wrap. So it's going to move on to the other space. If we going to move on, so to just see this, I'm going to add one more. Yes, so let's just say Ruby, or let's add more. So I'm going to say Ruby, and let's say C++. Let's say Go. So if I come back, so let's add one more. I actually want it to wrap, and just going to copy down. I just added something. Let's say Go. Let's say Rust. So if you can no longer fit into the available width, it's going to wrap to the next width. That's the idea of that's what flex wrap does. So now I want the LIs. I want the LIs. I want the LIs, and I'm going to say padding. So let's do padding, and let's do 1 rem. And then I want the background color to be, let's say var, and let's say primary. Yeah, I want it like this, and the color is going to be var, and I want text light. I also want a border radius. I want to add border radius. I'm going to say border radius 8 pixel. Yeah, so it's looking so nice. Then we need to add some margin. So if I look at my skill, this under skill section, I'm going to say skill section, and I want to target the H3, right? Margin bottom, I'm going to say 2 rem. Is going to push it down, and for the skills, so inside the skill we have H4, so dot skill, and we want all the H4 in there. I'm going to say margin bottom 1 rem. Great. And then I want to add background color to the skill container. So I'm going to say background color, and let's use this so let's say var, and let's use accent 2. Yeah, so I think I like it, so I'm using it. And let's add padding. Let's do 1 rem. Oh, not to the H4, we want it on the skill container. Yeah, and I also want the text to be white. Yes, so color var, and let's do text light. And I also want the right here. Yes, I want some border radius of 8 pixel. So now that I'm repeating 8 pixel, what I can do is to just put this as a variable at the top here, but I'm not going to do that. You can do that because that's the essence of using CSS variable. And The reason why it's so important for using it with themes is that if you want to change the theme of your website, you can just change from the variable here and it will reflect across the pages of your website. So I'm going to make, let's add the background color to, let's say, the skill section. So skill section, background color, and I'm going to use favor. Let's use uh, this. So let's see. Let's use accent one. Yeah, I like it. So that's one of the advantages of using monochrome color. It's always going to match. And let's just say 1 rem for the padding. That should be here. 1 rem. And then I want to add color var text light. Yeah, this is looking great. Let's also add border radius. I'm just going to copy it. Border radius of 8 pixel. Good. Let's do same for this. So that's for about text. I'm actually going to copy all this text. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Looking so nice. And the color, of course, to be var text light. Yeah, and it's looking so nice. So we just created a two-dimensional layout, and even for the h2 here, so I want all my h2 to have a primary color. So there's my h2. Yeah, my h2 right here. I'm going to say color var primary color. This is looking good. This is looking so good. But I actually think I like the black because of the contrast. But I'm just going to say text dark because I don't want full black. Text dark. Yeah, because of the contrast. And I like it. Alright, so let's move over to the project section. So for projects, I'm going to have projects with the ID of container, with the class of container. Let's say project dot container. What do we want to do? I'm going to look at my HTML one more time. Project container. So I want actually want the contain set the color for the container. So I'm going to say background color. And this time let's use let's say var, and let's say so I'm just going to scroll up and quickly look at this. We have used accent 2, we have used accent 1, we have used accent 3. This is actually accent 2, so I'm going to use accent 1 for this. Var, and let's say we want accent 1. That's looking like so skill for the skill section. We're already using Ascent 1. So we can keep it there. You can just use both Ascent 1 and Ascent 2, or just switch it. Let's use Ascent 3. Yeah, dark. So you can play around with your colors actually and just say padding 1 rem. Because we are doing that, we have to target the H2 and set the color to var, and let's say text dark, text light actually. Yeah. Then I need to go into the project. So dot project and say display flex. Now let's add the images. Let's go ahead and add the images. So I actually switch to JPEG, so JPG, and JPG. Let's add some gap. Let's say 1 rem. And I'm going to change the text. So I actually want all the colors to be white except for the link. Everything should be white. And then we have to go into each project, and if I look at my structure, I have image title here. So let's say dot image and title. I want margin button 1 rem. What you can actually do is to add it to the paragraph tag and just do top and bottom. So let's just say margin 1 rem. Not dot p, just p. Yeah. And now I want to target um, the anchor tags inside. I'm just going to use the same styling I used some at for the primary buttons at the top. So I'm going to copy their styling. I think I have it. Yes, yeah. All right. And so because I want this to be responsive, I'm not actually really going to go into responsiveness, but what you can actually do to make this responsive is to say, so for all the projects, so if I select this, I can say I want the individual project container to, let's say, let's set a max width of 370 pixel, and yeah, I'm going to say flex wrap. So if we add more projects, so you see it's wrapping, but I actually want to reduce it. Say let's do 360, so everything will actually be in one line. And let's say justify content center, so it's just going to be on the center. Yeah, so everything is looking good, and then let's move on to the footer. So the footer is very simple. I'm just going to say footer. I'm actually going to place this at the top because I want all my element styling to be at the top. So let's put this here and say footer, and the p tag. Let's actually apply this to the footer and say background color. Of course, I'm going to use accent 3 color var, and text light. Then I want the text alignment to the center. Let's add some padding. I'm going to do, let's do one rem top and bottom, and just 0 left and right. So looks good. So next thing I want is that, so when I click here, you see it goes to that section. I actually want it to scroll smoothly, so I'm going to go to the top and set the scroll behavior here to be smooth. So watch what happens when I click. It's just going to, yeah, everything looks great. And now let's so I want to play with my colors a bit. So what can we use this secondary color for? We can actually use it for overs. And let's say we have extra links that are not call to action links, we can use it for that. So I'm going to go to, yeah, I have this link here. So all my links, so we can just say a, because everything is an a tag. You can actually do it here. I actually want it to hover. Let's just say hover, and want to change the color to background color, not color var, say secondary color. Not working, either we're not targeting it right. Let's just be specific with our targeting. Come over here and dot hero, it has to be before dot hero content. So it's changing. So I want it on the a. Yeah, I just removed the a tag, that's why. So yeah, looks good, right? Looks so good. Let's do the same for this, and that should be for our Yeah, so I want you to take this as an assignment and add the contact section. So the last thing I want to show you how to do is to actually validate your HTML and CSS. So there's this extension called Web Developer, and to install it, you just have to go to your extension tab, click on Manage Extensions, go to the Chrome Web Store, and search for Web Developer. Just search for Web Developer, and we want this one by Chris Pederick. So this is the one we want. This one with the cog icon here. So it's already installed for me. If I click it, it's going to say remove for Chrome, but for you, you just have to click add to Chrome. After installing it, you can pin it here by just clicking on this pin icon here. So I already have it pinned. So I'm going to use it to validate my HTML, and I want to validate locally because it's running on a local server. So everything is all right and saying document checking complete, no errors to show. So great. Let's do same for my CSS. Let's validate CSS locally. So everything is actually all right. This error is coming from my Chrome extension because I'm using this, what's it called? So I'm using this extension for momentum. So I'm using momentum for this um home page screen you see here. That's why it's actually coming from momentum. So if you look at the error, it's saying URL Chrome extension. So it's coming from the Chrome extension and not my page. Everything is all right with my page. Then, so the last thing we need to do is to deploy this, and this is very simple. You can just do that using this. So you can do that from Visual Studio Code and deploy to GitHub. So you are going to need a GitHub account. So if I go to my GitHub account, github.com/livayomagbini. So this is my GitHub account, and then you want to sign in with, so you see my GitHub account is here. You want to sign in with your GitHub. Click here and click, you need to sign into sync settings. So click on sync settings, sign in with your GitHub account. Make sure you authorize Visual Studio Code. Then click open repo, and I want to create a I'm supposed to initialize a repo. So this is a new project. I'm supposed to initialize a repo. Oh, so I'm just going to go to my desktop folder here, where I have the, and I think there's already a Git file there. So I'll come over here, go to options, view, and I want to show it in 5. There's no Git folder here. So it's supposed to be saying it's saying a Git repo was found in the parent folder. So that's not supposed to be. So I'm just going to close my Visual Studio Code. Just hold on. I'm going to close and reopen it just for everything to reload because there's no Git um, repo here. So I'll close and reopen. So now that I closed my Visual Studio Code and reopen it, you can see it's saying initialize repo. The reason why it was showing open repo was because during the course of recording, I opened a file in the same window that has a Git repo in the parent folder. So I'm just going to click initialize repo and call this. So we have to give it a message. So I'm going to say initial commit because this is just my first commit. I have to commit it. Yes. Now we need to publish to branch. So we are going to create a new branch. So I'm going to say portfolio website. So yeah, I'm just going to call it that. So I want it public so I can deploy to GitHub pages. Let's just wait for it to publish. So let's open on GitHub and let's see. All right, so to deploy this to GitHub pages, you just have to go to settings, go to page, so look for pages, yeah, and just set this place from none to main and click save. That's all you need to do. And after some few minutes, you are going to see the link to that website appear to your project that you have just deployed. So I like refreshing my page while waiting for the link. So you can also refresh yours after waiting for some time. Just refresh and it's going to show at the top. All right, so I'll just wait for it to reload. So it's showing at the top here, so I can click on it and click visit. So now let's validate it now that we have deployed it. So let's say validate HTML. So I have to go through this authentication. So no error. So I just want to know that if we had, let's say this tag is missing, this closing tag, we are going to have error. So you can just go ahead and try it. And if we have this forward slash on any of the self closing tag, we're going to have an error or a warning rather. Let's validate our CSS. Let's validate CSS. Congratulations, no errors found. Now let's test our website accessibility. To contrast, we have 19 errors. 19 errors for contrast. So it's telling us that the contrast between the text and the background is not, but second heading level is present here. So you can actually use this to refine your, so if we have contrast, so we have some problem with our contrast, but I think the contrast is great. Yeah. So these are all the problems we have with contrast. You can actually count it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 contrast errors and just the bottom, but I think it has a good contrast. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you enjoy it, I want you to leave a like, drop your thoughts on the comment section, share this to a friend who you think this will be valuable to. um, I think the biggest takeaway for me in this tutorial is actually the process of planning. So to master this process, you just have to do it over and over again on any project you want to build, and it will become used to you. So let's just go back to the local version we have here, and let's say I want to change my primary color. So I'll just go over here and change it. So I just want to show you the importance of CSS variable before we end this. And if I say red, if I say red, and let's go back. I think I'm going to reload this. Oh, I need to go live. So go live. When I close the my text editor, I have to. So you see, it's now showing red. Now showing red. So you can just change from one place and it's going to reflect. And anytime you make a change, you want to put a commit message here, commit to Git, and just sync with the previous changes. So recommend this tutorial to a friend whom you think needs to see this. Leave a like, and lastly, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'm going to see you next time. Thanks for watching.